Wow, lunch o'clock already, Ty. I'm
It's
so happy
time
to hear
to
your voice.
eat. It's time to talk. This is a podcast about Subway. So we will be discussing Subway today.
These are Subway related matters, okay?
Hmm.
We don't listen to fake Fox News. We only listen to Twitter.
Hmm.
Um, you know,
Do your own research, everyone.
do your own research. How's it
I
going today?
It's going great. I was thinking it would be cool if Subway just dropped the sub and they just officially changed their name to Way, following like the
Whoa.
similar order of friend of the pod, the sandwich artist formerly known as Kanye. Why don't we just call
Mm,
it Way for from here out?
I love this idea. Kind of like Diddy, changing his name, or Jay-Z dropping the hyphen.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think Subway could easily do without the way or the
If
sub.
if they ditch the sub, which is arguably the worst part of Subway,
Hmm.
it opens up their brand to other experiences. If we've talked about them offering health and wellness classes, like kind of creation experiences that they wouldn't be able
Hmm.
to achieve if they were just Subway. It's like when WeWork formed their parent company, We.
Very, very meta.
Meta, yes.
Um, I love this idea, Ty. I think the way is a much stronger brand name
Hmm.
because one, Subway is all about making it your way, obviously,
Hmm.
but also it's kind of like subtly hinting at it's like there's only one way.
Hmm. It's the Subway.
It's the Subway. And there's probably only one good sandwich you can make at Subway.
It's the one
Uh,
I make,
it's
says
the one I
everybody.
make. So, oh, this is awkward.
Yeah. Uh, man.
This is a great brainstorming session. I love this. Um,
Hmm.
what if Subway dropped sub, or sorry, what if they dropped the way from the name and it was just sub?
Just sub, like,
It's
just
like, yo, you want to go sub? Like, honestly, that's kind of sick.
that's pretty sick. They're doubling down on what they're good at.
It's the opposite. It's like two takes of the same thing. Like, we're dropping the sub because we know what you're here for.
Hmm.
You're here for that 12, baby. You're here for
You're
that
gonna
12
go.
inches.
You're gonna go drops a $10 bill on the counter. We're dropping the sub.
Exactly. But if we're dropping the way, it's like we are the only sandwich you need to eat ever.
Hmm.
We are
Hmm. Yeah, I'm getting a little
subpar.
subpar. Substance.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
a
love it.
substantial meal. 12
Mm-hmm.
inches.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, there's a lot of opportunity here. I think what we've identified is this is fertile ground for Subway to plant a few sub seeds of branding as
Mm-hmm.
they grow into the behemoth organization that we imagine that they have the
Mm-hmm.
potential to become.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, although we do give Subway a lot of ideas, like Kai and I, we're not like solutions people. We're just
Visionaries.
we're just visionaries. We're just gonna identify an opportunity, and then
Hmm.
you guys come up with the way. You know
Totally.
what I'm saying?
I'm going to walk in there. I'm going to say four cheeses. There's only three on the menu. That's not my problem. That's the, that's the arch.
Wait a second.
I'm
What's
the
the
architect.
third cheese? What's the third cheese? What are you talking about?
Well, you got yellow, you got white, and you got shredded.
But shredded is just like the both the cheeses
Is it
combined
yellow
in a
and white
different format.
combined?
Hmm.
I don't know if that's true, but I'll take your word for it.
I mean, that's
But
how it presents itself, I guess.
a
Um,
good artist who is capable of thinking outside the box would immediately justify the third cheese being shredded and the fourth cheese being the Parmesan shaker at the end. Yeah, see, this is what I'm looking for. I'm the visionary, they're the executioner.
I love this executioner. Is hilarious. The way they be chopping that sandwich in half, it's much like an execution
No
style
kidding.
cut. But
Yeah.
you're right, Ty. I also thought, the mixed cheese was, much like a mixed baby. It was their take on like combating racism,
Mm-mm.
but doing it so in a very subtle way, and you know, going for quantity, not impact.
Right.
Um, And so, when, you get some white guys going there with their Asian girlfriends, they just felt at home.
That's a good point. You need to have these kinds of more like progressive things on the menu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Instead of like it being it's not an interracial cheese, it's more like an inter-Rembrandt cheese.
God damn it.
I tried.
Yes. Yes, Ty. Yes.
Well, I
What's
have
up?
something to share with you today, Eric.
Please.
I forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Oh no.
Yes, yes, no. I had a weak moment this weekend. It
Mm-hmm.
was demon time, middle of
Mm-hmm.
the
Did
night.
you text your ex?
Worse, I texted my ex artist, as in I visited Subway this weekend.
Mm, shame on you, Ty. Um, Ty, I think we're only allowed to sin together, really, but
Hmm.
I can't hold this against you. You were in a state of hunger. You were approaching the subway. I can only imagine that wherever you were this past weekend, you didn't have many options. Let's just say that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's true. It was a cheat day not by choice, but by necessity.
Hmm.
But I want to tell you about my experience there because there was some interesting moments that I think you will find intriguing.
Please enlighten me. This is great.
Okay, so I'm out.
I'm laying down for the listeners. I'm laying down right now
Yeah, he's
in
closing
bed,
his eyes.
waiting for the story.
Get comfortable here. So this is my experience at Way. I
Hmm.
was traveling this weekend, as I do. I'm an intercontinental Mr. Worldwide Covia's OV tourist,
Hmm.
and
Delta Platinum.
yeah, it's the sun has set. It's nighttime. I'm cruising through small town BC, and I need a sandwich. I need some food. Uh, I love a footlong. Man, I love footlong. That's MILF for short. Um, so I convinced the car to I Jim Jones them, Eric, the whole car into drinking the Fruitopia and coming with me to the Way. The
Oh
crew
wow.
walks in the
So
doors. Yeah,
how many people are we talking about? You had a full car?
yeah, full car. There's four of us total, which is
Okay.
interesting because when I walked into Subway, there was no customers, but three
Hmm.
sandwich artists, three teenagers working, real art school types.
Oh
So that
wow.
means my crew immediately outnumbered them from customer to artist. So that obviously
Hmm.
they're scrambling right away.
Hmm.
Now, I was
It's
thinking
hilarious.
about our conversation a week or so ago, Eric, about the flatbread and whether or not
Hmm.
the flatbread still exists. Did it ever exist? Did we just make it up?
Did it ever exist? I honestly, better for it to never have existed. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're
Um,
saying.
but are you gonna sneakily tell me that this Subway had an old menu?
I'm not sure if they were just like had a few leftover flatbreads from 2019 and they're
Oh
still trying to
my
clear them out. But I thought I'm going to do something ludicrous today. I'm going to order the flatbread.
Oh no, Ty, every time you've done that, it's been so bad and just full of regret. What inspired you this time? Was it our conversation?
It was our conversation.
Wow.
Um,
And did you get it rolled up?
I didn't do the calzone slash cinnamon bun method that we discussed. I thought it was a little bit too radical for this small town Way.
You didn't want to alert the authorities at
No,
this at this small town. You don't want to raise any red flags, even within your
no,
friend group. Who knows if they even know about your secret hobby?
they don't, and it's important to keep it a secret. And I thought that if I did anything too progressive, I would
Hmm.
absolutely give away my deep, dark sandwich secret that I am the
Hmm.
host of a successful podcast about the very establishment we were in.
Hmm.
But here's the thing with the flatbread, Eric. So I
Hmm.
order the flatbread, and you know what all three people behind me want to order? Herb and cheese, right? Italian herb and cheese.
Oh yes,
So first one goes up to the counter and
Urban
orders
G.
Italian herb and cheese. And you know what they say? They say, we're sold out.
Oh
So
no,
here I am, flatbread already on the table, feeling like an absolute genius.
dude, you just skirted past that disappointment so easily.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a
Wow.
hard one to swallow.
Yeah, almost as hard as that flatbread.
No kidding. I don't know how they sell out of their most popular bread. It's literally, I think, the only bread they make.
Yeah, that's true. It's literally like if they had oregano further down the line, then you know they're lying because
Hmm.
all it is the oregano on top of a bread.
Precisely. Tricky, tricky, tricky. So
Okay,
I
so walk
I
me
dodged
through
that bullet.
what did they order instead? Did they get some other bread or did they follow suit and go
No.
flat flat?
White Italian, my friend.
Oh
They know better
no.
than to mess with the flatbread. It's a risky play. It's for people that have nothing left to live for.
I really don't know what the point of it is. Like
It's because you want to feel
flatbread,
something,
bro?
Eric.
No, but actually, I can't even think of like what like a flatbread is supposed to look like. Like I've never
Well,
seen that ever in my life.
here's that's what I thought too. So like I got it toasted, right? And when it came out
Yes.
of the toaster, it just looked like wet pizza dough. But then I was
Hmm.
like, oh, that looks like wet pizza dough. But then I was like, oh, that's what flatbread is. So that one's on me.
True, you really took the blame for that one.
Yeah. Whoops.
Okay, so walk me through what else did you get on this ugly lunch?
Yeah, so I went veggie delight. It was more of a veggie undelightful. I got all the fixings. I even put a little marinara sauce on there just because I knew it needed a bit more substance. Um,
Mm, really helps
one,
hold the lettuce together. You know when I'm like putting vegetables on dry bread, I think,
mm,
man, this needs some marinara sauce. That's exactly
it
what I think.
there is like a stickiness that's important in a sandwich that we never talk about. It's this like secondary role of the sauce is to be the glue.
Absolutely.
Our
Absolutely.
breadheads, the breadheads listening, are no strangers to eating glue. So I'm sure they're
God
happy to
damn
hear
it.
that.
God damn it. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
What else we got? What
So
else is going on here?
despite the lack of herb and cheese, there was a redeeming moment when the sandwich artist I asked for the tomatoes, but I could see all the tomatoes on top were like looking pretty white and hairy.
Yikes.
So, but then the sandwich artist, he like went elbow deep in the tomato bin and he pulled out some real juicy slices from the bottom for me. Like
Wow.
like the back, the ones that were the least expired. It went like past the rubber on his glove. Like his arm hair was
Hmm.
touching the tomato hair.
Holy shit.
Hair on
Some
hair.
some some bush on bush action.
Yeah, bush
That's
on
great.
bush. Um, but then like after that, he went to cut my flatbread, and and then he wraps it up, and I buy it, and then I take it to the counter. I open it. It's hard to tell if flatbread is upside down when you open it.
Hmm.
Both
Hmm.
sides look upside down. But one thing I noticed is he didn't even cut it in half. It was just like 12 inches of flatbread. It was so hard to I had to like tear it because when I like picked it up, it was
Oh,
so goopy on this. I felt like I was trying to pick up a dead salmon. It's like slimy and really
interesting. Are they
long.
supposed to cut it?
Yeah, they're supposed to cut it. You could, dude. It's 12. If imagine eating like it's like eating a foot long hot dog at the big game. You know,
That's the big game.
cut up.
Honestly,
It's three-hander.
we need, you know what? I think the sandwich artist looked at you and said like this guy is a man. He can handle this 12 incher. Do
Hmm.
you think like they only cut it because like they think like you can't handle this sandwich?
They think we're gamers, not lifters.
Yeah, they think like either this guy can't even hold it up all at once, or he's like not going to finish it like today.
Mm,
So, you know, maybe I'll just cut it in half for him, do him a solid. But maybe
that's
if we start, normalizing, give me the whole thing. I'm not leaving this place until I eat the
mhm.
whole sandwich. And
Yeah.
maybe they'll stop cutting it for you, and then therefore stop like executing the tomatoes inside.
Great call, Eric. Let's reframe this as a complot. Like he looks at me, he's like, "This guy's a throat goat. He can finish all 12 inches today."
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. He
and
said,
if I need to divide it up, I'll tear that shit like a phone book, because I'm a
yeah,
lifter.
just like a phone book. Honestly, tearing a phone book's much easier than tearing that yoga mat bread.
Getting through that flatbread, yeah, it's dense.
Yeah. Wow. I think we're gonna have to try this next time. I want to try eating a whole foot long, with two hands, bro.
Yeah, they
Just
whip out
throwing
that
it.
dull knife, and you say, "No, no, no cut, no trim."
Yeah. I want my sandwich uncircumcised.
Yeah. I like it raw and real.
Absolutely. Wow, I'm excited to go back to Subway with you.
Hmm.
It took every, you know, ounce of my being to not order the crispy chicken last time.
Hmm.
And go for the, veggie patty with you, which I still regret. But, next time we go, I have to get the 12-inch crispy chicken because that's like three chickens.
Well, hell, let's go next week. I'm on a roll right now. I've gone twice in 1 month, which is unprecedented.
That is true. Wow, it brings me back to pre-pandemic days.
Hmm. Hovey
Yeah.
Zovey.
I'm extremely excited to pod and eat with you, my man.
Me as well. But that basically concludes my Subway experience. There was a blue photo on the wall of some cucumbers, presumably
Blue.
sun-soaked to the point where they had turned blue. I,
Oh, are you sure it's not a visco filter?
it may have been a visco filter. Uh, it's kind of. I was like thinking. I was like looking at the tomatoes, and they're all like blue and purple. I'm like, oh, they're sun-dried tomatoes. Get it?
Ah, yes. I'm sure the sandwich owners behind the line had a strong reaction to that. Oh
They hate
man.
us. They hate us because they want to be us.
Hmm. So Ty, there's some news. Speaking of blaming your sandwich artist for
Hmm.
you know, nearly killing you. Big T Scott has been in the news lately because of this
Mm,
whole Astroworld fiasco. Do you know much about it, Ty? I'm sure you do. You're
yeah,
plugged
I
in.
heard. I heard that at Astroworld, Travis went into manslaughter mode.
Yeah, dude, he skipped sicko mode and went straight into manslaughter mode, and Jesus, dude. And yeah, man, it's
Yeah.
got me thinking about all this stuff. But one thing I wanted to bring to your attention was I actually think this is a planned event. This is a planned
Oh.
mass killing,
Oh, like 9/11.
much like 9/11, much like when, the sandwich artist squirts a little bit too much mayo on and then
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
attacks my stomach. Um,
Premeditated murder.
Premeditated saucing. I think that, this whole Astroworld thing was, let's just say, written on the menu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a second bite of this idea. So why do you think that this is a conspiracy?
Well, Ty, now that we're taking two bites in, think about this. What songs has Travis dropped in the last 2 weeks?
Oh, I can't answer that question.
I'm sure one of our breadheads could if they were on the call because we share a lot of the same fans. But the two songs that well, let's just start with the first one. So Travis Scott dropped an EP with two songs. First one's called Escape Plan. And
mm,
what were all of the kids trying to do at Astroworld?
they were trying to escape. Those breadheads were turning into flatbread heads on the spot.
Yeah,
They needed to
it's
escape.
dude, yeah, those loaves were sat on and they became your lunch, Ty.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, how can you drop a song called Escape Plan and then this happens? It has to be planned, right? It's
So
literally
there
plan is part of the song name.
escape plan. Yeah, there was probably some hot tips on escaping that crowd
Embedded
embedded.
in the song.
Yeah, reading in between the get on Rap Genius and read between the lines,
Hmm.
everybody.
Much like the calorie count in fine that's written in fine print.
Hmm.
You really got to dig for that. It could have been in the album art, it could have been in the lyrics, who knows?
Hmm.
But have you pulled up the other song yet?
Yes, the second song is called Marinara Mafia.
Mafia for short. And
Yes,
what's another word for mafia, Ty?
mob,
That's correct. And the word mob has two meanings. One is mafia, but what's the other one?
mob.
No, what's the meaning of mob? Well, mob has two meanings. What's the other one?
Oh, there's mob as in like the groupies that follow you and I around when we go to the store.
Yes.
But mob also means to is it a slang for thrifting? You tell me,
Uh,
Eric.
what the fuck? No, it's a large group of people.
Oh, right. Kind of like lunch
Hmm.
rush at Subway. That's a mob.
Exactly. That is exactly what I'm talking about. So not only did Travis rap about there being an escape plan, but also there being an angry large mob um, at the center
So
of things. So
so
I
he
don't
was
know.
trying to make this happen. You're
Yeah.
suggesting that he's been foreshadowing this long before Astro World hit.
hmm hmm I think Travis might be trying to get rid of his weakest fans,
Mm,
because much like Subway, like the ingredient list is it could hurt a small child or
hmm
an old elderly person. So
hmm
I think Travis is trying to like shave off the top a little
hmm
bit, as we say in the industry.
hmm It's smart. It protects the brand.
Exactly. It protects the brand. Travis is a ripped, young man, and therefore he wants his fans to look like that too. So if you're truly a Travis Scott fan, you would have made it out of that mob alive.
Wow. So
Wow.
this conspiracy, Eric, your escape plan mafia EP conspiracy, is this straight off the dome?
This is off the dome, baby.
Well, you heard it here first, then, folks.
That's right.
Premeditated mustard.
Premeditated mustard, marinara mafia, the vibes.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
And it's
Well,
perfect because you can't, much like your sandwich artists, you can't really blame them. You can only really blame yourself, and the environment in which you are in, which is, you know, a DIY sandwich place.
that was very subway fashion of you to choose not to blame for their involvement or lack
hmm
of. Very Blue Lives Matter of you to give them another out.
Absolutely. It's my honor. Um,
Wow.
yeah, Ty. Any other closing thoughts on that before we
Well, I
close?
do think that it's there must have been a lot of sandwich artists in that crowd because I've seen how a sandwich artist like tramples my foot long with their hands.
God damn it. Very true.
Yeah, so they're no stranger to that complete disregard for the people around them, I guess you could say.
hmm I agree. Well then.
Well then, Eric, I think that concludes another just brilliant episode of Think Fresh. Truly one of our best ones. What do we learn today? We learned about Subway's new name. We learned about Ty's experiences at Subway, and we learned that Astroworld
Ooh.
is a conspiracy. Thank you for listening, everybody. We hope you got as much out of this episode as we got sharing it with you.
Absolutely. Uh, I'm so glad you summarized it for us because we're gonna have an easier time writing the description after this. Um, Thank you so much, Ty. Thank you so much, Breadheads, for tuning in. So happy that you are safe and you did not go to Houston, cursed Houston for this thing.
Mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
yeah,
And RIP to the breadheads that are no longer with us.
RIP Breadheads, man. You could have
Mm-hmm,
chose to go to Turkey Leg Hut instead, but you went to Astroworld, and
mm-hmm,
it was your last ride. That's
mm-hmm.
crazy.
That is crazy. And yeah, that's why we YOLO, right?
I guess so.
YOLO your way into a signature sandwich every time.
Absolutely correct, Ty.
All right. We've changed the name of the podcast from Think Fresh just to Think. So thanks for listening to Think, everybody. You have a great night.
Ciao.
Ciao.